I'm Matt Carey, documentary editor at Deadline, and welcome to the Deadline studio at Sundance. We are joined by Carla Gutierrez, the director of Frida, which is playing in U.S. documentary competition. Welcome.
Hi, nice to be here.
The Frida of the title, of course, is the great Mexican painter Frida Kahlo,
hmm
who I think everyone knows. Tell me about this film, getting involved with it, and wanting to explore the life and extraordinary work of Frida Kahlo.
yeah, I mean, she's as iconic of a figure as you can get. So getting involved with it, we really wanted to get as intimate and to like draw her personality out. So the film uses her own words to tell her own story. Um, I came up with the concept, and then we took it out and found wonderful partners that supported us through making of the film.
Why is Frida Kahlo as popular as she is today? She's, I think, maybe even after her death, has just continued to be this incredibly potent cultural figure, certainly in the United States and across the world. Why is she so popular, so present in our culture?
I think I think she's been able to connect to I mean, her art has been able to connect to people because she has, she really released her most intimate emotions in an incredibly honest way. And I think that we are all, seeking to be able to do that. I mean, even the time now, like everybody's taking selfies, but we put an image of ourselves out there that sometimes is a little bit filter. But that capacity to like, you know, to be so honest and kind of like confront your demons, confront your losses, confront your pain, and just like look at your pain straightforward in a vibrant and even colorful way, the way she did. I think people get really inspired by it. I know I did when I got to know her art. I discovered her when I was in college many, many years ago. And that's the connection that I think a lot of people started having. She was not that well known. Her art was not that well known when she was alive. She was a well known figure, but mostly in Mexico, but mostly known as the wife of a big artist there,
Right,
Diego Rivera.
Diego Rivera,
Yeah.
the great
Yeah,
muralist.
so people really discover her later on, and she's just become the most important artist from Latin America, and if not, one of the most important female artists in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And hers was really quite a short life.
Yeah,
I did not realize how young she was when she died. And we hear in the film that really an incredibly important seminal moment in her life at the age of 18. She is in a terrible bus accident that
yeah.
almost killed her. She's impaled with a railing of the bus. And that's both central to her biography in the sense that without that, she might not have become a painter.
Yeah, and we show that in the film. We really wanted to capture her spirit before the accident and how she was so curious and really, interacted with the world in a really intense way. And the accident kind of like took that away from her because she had to be, she was bedridden for a year in casts, and she had to deal with a lot of solitude, and that's kind of how she started painting portraits of friends, pretty much kind of like token of love, telling them for them not to forget them. For me, I think it's her miscarriage that really, that's the pain of her, of her losing a baby that she really wanted to have, really kind of like made her the artist that she became. Like that's where I think her voice really came alive as an artist, from that loss.
You do such a remarkable job of immersing the viewer into her artistic world. There is
Thank
some
you.
archive
hmm
video of Frida. I mean, it's, from quite a long time ago, but through motion graphics and animation, I'm not sure how to describe it. You bring her art to life in a way that's very exciting.
Thank you. That was a very conscious decision we made from the beginning. That's how we wanted to, get the viewers in a way to kind of swim into her heart and her mind. And And I mean, her art itself is so intense. I mean, we experience it. When you go to a museum, you get to observe it, like pay attention to the little details. When you're looking at a book, you're also like being able to like be with the paintings for a long time. And we actually wanted the audience to have that same experience, but in a cinematic form. And that's why we decided to use animation to do that, so that we could move the audience through the art and highlight little details that we wanted to add in those scenes, so that the audience could really pay attention to that kind of like emotional content in the art. So yeah, that's why we decided to do it.
You mentioned Diego Rivera, just this super important element of her life, and I discovered through the film that they were married
Big friend.
twice. They
Yes, they were married twice.
so it was a rocky relationship in some respects. It's obviously an incredibly important one artistically for both of them. They influenced each other.
Yes, and we really wanted to highlight also how he supported her art. The way that they met, it was her bringing four paintings to him, so that she could get his opinion to see if she would continue to paint. Um, and he really encouraged her. He saw something special in her pieces that were different from, people just trying to imitate others. And then when she had her miscarriage, he also talks about, like, this is something will come out of this. Like, this is not she's not an ordinary person. She's gonna take this pain and, like, bring it to life in her paintings. So yes, very rocky relationship, very complex relationship, but there was like a lot of attraction, a lot of mutual support. And so, yeah, it's, like most relationships are, right? Complex, complicated.
Yes.
A
And your
life.
film has a distribution. Not too many documentaries at Sundance can necessarily say that. It's part of Amazon MGM Studios, so it will be seen on Prime Video at some point.
Yes,
Right.
March 14.
Oh,
It's
very
coming. Yeah,
soon.
it's very
All
soon.
right.
So it's coming to Prime then. And, I mean, what a special way to be able to show Frida, because she's so well known worldwide, and to have the access to the audience that, Prime will give us, for the film to be able to touch people everywhere. So yeah, we're
Well,
lucky.
congratulations,
Thank
Carla
you so
Gutierrez, the
much.
director of Frida.
Thank you.
Pleasure.